Bosh, right guys, welcome back. Obviously, if you're just tuning in, smash up all the buttons down below. If you're returning, thank you very much. Today is a bit of a different one. I'm sort of putting everything I've learned over the last few months into practice. I've been on Google Maps, been looking for a little while, and I sort of found a venue that matches the sort of venues I've been fishing. So hopefully we're going to go out and we're going to find ourselves this a new ray mark. We're going to fish it a few times. Obviously today being the first, it is a small tide, so if we can get a fish out, I'll be happy. If not, you know, it is what it is. We'll come back again next week when the tides, because they are building, so they'll be big again next week. If you pop over to Sea Angling Adventures, you'll see the other day that we went down and we've done a bit of casting. So thanks to Adam, I believe that I could probably cast far enough now for this venue to be able to get onto the sand. We've got about 80 meters of reef, and then we've got sand after that. But obviously, you know, we're going to have to put things into practice, i.e. we are going to use a running up and over today. So I'll go through that in a minute. I tied some up last night. Obviously pumping the fish, getting it to the surface so we don't lose it to the reef. Obviously if we hook into a fish, but obviously hopes are high. I mean, it's a new place. It's always exciting when you fish somewhere new and you don't know nothing about it. I haven't told anyone where I'm going. I haven't asked for any information off of anyone. I'm sort of just coming down, not changing a lot, just fishing how I've been fishing all the time. It's a slopey reef, so it's not like a flat dead out reef. So it's like a sloped reef to sand. So I am going to try to run it up and over. If I start losing a few, I'll change over to the pulley panel. If you guys have been following along, you would have seen that I've had some really good luck lately with the pulley panel. It's a rig that I've used ever since I started fishing, really. Well, sea fishing anyway, and it's always done me well. But obviously Andy's had a lot of ray on the running up and over. So today, as there's not much chance of too many snags, well, not if I can get the cast right. If I mess the cast up, then you know, we might not get our stuff back. But I am going to use rotten bottom as well, just to be on the safe side, really. You know, if I hook into a really good fish. I mean, this place might not even hold the fish that I'm after, but you know, going off of where I've been fishing, the area and stuff like that, I think we're in for a good chance to see at least a ray or even a bullos or something like that. We are fishing low to high and then over high for 2 hours. Yeah, over high for 2 hours, which will take us into darkness, 3 or 4 hours into dark. So yeah, we're fishing the daytime and the night time, so we can sort of see which fish is better, really. Right, there's the first rod, ready for a rig. I'll just get the second rod done, and then I'll bring it back and we'll go through the rig and bait we're using today in a bit. Bosh, right guys, well today, obviously like I said, we're going to be using the running up and over. So it's literally a leg clip. I'm not sure what one that's called, you know what I mean? I'm not very good at terminal tackle and stuff like that, but that's the one you're looking for anyway. And then you tie off to the bottom. This is a 100-pound leader for the rig body. And then we've got a pulley bead there with an imp on it. Obviously that's where we're going to attach our lead to. Running to 100-pound swivel, running to 80-pound hook length. And then we've got, today, on one we've got a pair of size 5 circles. The brand is Phoenix. And then today on this rig we've got a pair of size 3 circles. Because this one I'm just going to fish single sand eel. And on the other one we're going to do cocktails. So like squid, bluey, squid, sardine, squid, sand eel. You know, because the bait's a bit bigger, obviously the hook's sitting it a lot nicer. And we'll go through that anyway when we do our bait up. But that's that. We are going to be using, I don't know, the tide's not massive today, so I think we're going to go with a 6-ounce lead, but we're going to use a rolling lead today. Like I said guys, there's a lot of sand out there, and what I want this to do, because there's not a lot of tide, hopefully, because the weight should hold the lead, but if the tide does pick it up, it should move it along and land it in a pocket, maybe of sand or something like that. So then the bait there is just going up over along in one of the dips where the natural bait would get stuck to. That's the idea behind it anyway. If it pulls too hard left and takes me into the reefs or anything like that, then I'll just have to put a gripper on there. Might lose one, we might not. But obviously I'm going to tie a bit of 20-pound line on there as well first, from my imp to my lead, spin it, tie a couple of knots in it, and then one of these bad boys on the bottom, like that. Actually, like that. So then I can just hook it on back on, and then when that hits the water, obviously the lead will come off and then it'll break. Simples, sort of simples, you know how we do. Right. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do. We're not going to, yeah, we're going to use that lead. So, yeah, so then after, what I'm going to do is, once that lead's on there like that, I'm not going to use a rotten bottom at first because I don't think I'm going to need it. Like I said, the reef runs down and not straight, so I don't have to, you know, I've just got to get it up and moving rather than try and lift it up over a ledge and then in. So we're going to start off with just the lead like that, and then bosh is what it is. Right, now bait, bosh. Right guys, right, bait. We've got small sand eels. I bought a bulk pack of these from Wrigglers, so I've got plenty for the winter. If I run out, I'll probably end up buying another packet. But yeah, small sand eels, they are really good. Well, for me, they are anyway. They're probably one of the best baits, all-round baits for the year I use, other than squid. I do have some squid today. Oh, we are going to do a fishing challenge soon where we just take squid, because obviously squid's a nice, affordable bait, and just to prove that you don't have to spend lots of money on baits. Obviously, we are ray fishing. So the prime baits are going to be fish baits. I have caught them on peeler crab before. Not very often, but I have had it. Usually the beginning of the year when there's not a lot of food around. But obviously we're fishing a sandy bay today. So there we go. I've just literally head and tailed that sand eel there. I'm going to run two up alongside each other. Just a quick whip just to keep them together. Oh, my knees. Oh, getting old. I'll be 30 next week. So I have to think of somewhere to go fishing for my birthday. But I know it's sad, but you know, it's what I like doing, so it is what it is. Right, so in with the bottom hook. And you'll see now how nicely these this double sand eel sits on this on these two 3/0 hooks compared to when you put them on pair of size 5s. And this is obviously for distance. We need the distance today, so I'm trying to keep the baits down. If I'm sending the bigger baits out and they're not going as far, well, then we're going to have a problem, aren't we? So if we start getting snagged up and stuff, I'll change the other ones to pair of size 3s as well, and hopefully we can get the same distance. We just have to use a lot smaller baits. Right, around. Oh, back through like that, as so. There we go. And there you go. Pair of size 3s, double sand eel. We're going to get that one clipped down now. So with this rig, this is the bit that goes to your rod, for those of you that haven't used it before. And then your line goes up over the top of the clip like that, like so. And then your hook goes onto the imp. It never does it first time, does it? There we go. And there you go. You've got a nice compact rig. And then obviously as soon as it hits the deck, bosh. Messed that up a little bit, didn't I? But then look, you've got a long flowing trace in the tide, and hopefully a ray will smash that and we'll get a few fish. So we'll send the bait out now, and hopefully we'll get a few in a bit. Oh, that's right guys, so that rod is well and truly out there now. See, there's a bit of tide, lovely little bend on the rod. I need to invest in a GoPro really, because this camera's not the best for filming, but you know, I am trying my best. So it is what it is. Same rig, but pair of size 5s this time. So like I said, I'm gonna do squid cocktails on this one. So get them down there. Try and keep your bait as frozen as possible, guys. I know it's not the easiest thing to do. Usually I'd bring the flask with the sand eels, but because I had so much bait, I didn't want to carry extra weight in that, because where I am is about 40 minutes down a cliff. So you have to take your time down there. If you can tell where I am from the background and stuff, you know, it is what it is, but don't go like smacking it all in the messengers and stuff. Messengers? In the messages and things like that, because, you know, there's people down this way that might not want you to know where it is. And you know, if it fishes well in the future, you know, people don't take the mick and post it everywhere and stuff like that, I'm more likely to tell people, you know, where it is. Also, you know, if we do see a few fish out and stuff like that, you know, I will let people know where it is, unless, you know, I'll go and catch like a monster fish or something like that, and then I will, you know, I'll be a bit more unlikely to share it. But, you know, that's part of fishing as well. Obviously, I know I'd love to be able to tell everyone every place I've been to, and you guys know I would. If it's a well-known place that I'm going to, I'll tell you where I am. This might be a well-known place, but I haven't seen any other anglers. There's no rubbish, and there's no line, which tells me that not a lot of people fish here. Obviously, it is what it is. And once you start going around telling everyone about everything, you do get a bit of a name for yourself, unfortunately. It's not how it should be, but I can understand why, because obviously next year I do want to get into sort of the more serious side of fishing, which is matches and stuff. So if this venue turns out to be a good one, we might see ourselves winning next year. But like I say, guys, any venue that's like a well-known venue or place, or, you know, there's already videos and stuff like that on it on YouTube, you know, I don't mind telling you where I am. And I mean, if this place turns into quite a good place to fish, but it doesn't produce any massive specimen fish, then you know, I'm more than welcome to tell people where it is. Because at the end of the day, the reason that I'm not going to tell people where I'm fishing is if I'm catching, you know, really good specimen fish and I'm like competing against other anglers. Whereas like last year and the beginning of this year, I didn't really take it seriously. But now I've sort of I'm learning a bit more about it and things like that. You understand why you have to sort of keep where you're fishing like to a minimal people. Otherwise, you know, you do. I ended up getting on the ray early this year. All right, I didn't have anything massive. I did have a double, which I was very pleased about, you know. But now, obviously, most of them marks have now got anglers all over them. I drove past there this morning to get to this place. And yeah, there's just anglers everywhere. But come down to it and there's no one here. So it either means there's no fish here, or they just haven't found out about it yet, or they haven't heard anything about what's come off here. I'm feeling really, really, really positive, because we're not far from where everyone's been getting the fish, and we're not miles, you know, we're not too close that people will know where we are. We're right out of the way. There's about half an hour walk from the car. Well, yeah, from the car park, and then about another 40 minutes down a cliff. So with any luck, we'll see a few fish out, and we'll have another spot to hit hard for the next couple of weeks. But there you go. While I've been yapping away, I've just whipped up a nice squid and sardine bait there. The sardine baits today, I'm going to go once down the middle and then once along the top of the backbone. So that'll be 3 wraps, and that should see us enough bait for the afternoon and the early evening. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more darkness tonight because of the clock change, things like that. So absolutely buzzing. So I'm going to get that one belted out now, and yeah, sit down, have a little chill, because I have walked about an hour this morning already. So ooh, and my legs are getting a bit sore. So I'm going to have a little relax, get some food in, and then yeah, hopefully bring you guys back with a few fish. If not, show you a few things that I've been learning lately. Obviously, we've just gone through that rig, like the pump and wind technique, not lowering the rod too far down, things like that. And we've got about 4 hours of daylight, so you're on the tips now. So as long as I leave my phone there, I can just turn it on and off, and hopefully we might get a few runs on camera. Right, anyway, I'm gonna get to it in a bit. Bosh, and that's what we wanted to see, guys. Listen, left hand rod, just started stripping line. Hopefully it takes off. We land ourselves a nice fish. There's a big bed of weed out there, guys. What we're looking for is a solid run. First cast, it's been in the water 5 minutes, I can't believe it. If this works, I've done my homework right. But it's giving me a slack line, so I'm gonna have a little feel for it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Might be a dogfish. Can you imagine? Come on, up you go, up. And there you go, people. First fish absolutely jammed me up into a reef. You can see here now what I'm doing is just applying pressure, keeping the pressure on. I can feel the fish pulling back, thumping. So yeah, I'm not sure whether it was the rig must have got locked up, but or it was holding bottom behind the reef. But there you go. I've just let some slack line off. Hopefully, hoping that the fish would swim out of the reef and that we could get the fish moving. But as I wind down in a second, and this is all you can do really, if a fish jams you up in the reef, is lock into it, don't give it any line, and then if it doesn't come, just give it a bit of line, wait a little minute, and then reel back down into it. Once you feel it, you can feel it start moving, so you know it's on there. And sometimes if you just give it a couple of minutes, it'll either take out from the reef or it'll go deeper. It is what it is. Usually they'll come out. You do this with congers. I've done it with a few of them and I've managed to land a few. You don't always get them back, but you know, it's one of them. You don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, it's quite a bit of a shame. Obviously, first run, first fish, lost to the reef, but we learn from our mistakes. What I should have done is just, I shouldn't have messed around with the camera. I should have just hit it as soon as it started running and then started pumping, winding. So there we go. Reel down, pull, try and get it to come. There you go. You can see on the rod tip there, it's like shaking back and forth. Where it's coming, bang, gets locked up again. So unfortunately, we did have to pull for a break in the end. But yeah, can't win them all. So right, anyway, I'm going to pull for this break and then we'll get back to it in a bit. Right guys, well, what can I say? Lost the first fish to the reef, unfortunately. I'm going to set the rod back up in a minute, but yeah. It's been about an hour now. Haven't had a bite since. Definite bite though, started stripping line, hit into it, got it up, it just kept staying deep. And unfortunately went into the reef and lost it. You win some, lose some. You know, it's a new venue, so obviously I'm just learning it. So we know for next time that what I'll do is I'll go up to higher ground and then hit it and then reel up. And hopefully we'll have half a chance of getting the fish in. So anyway, I'm going to get that rod set back up and hopefully we'll see a fish out today. If not, it is what it is. We'll come back on a different tide. But there are fish out there. We've had a bite already, so hopefully with any luck we'll get one on the bank. Right, anyway, I've got to get back to it because you know, it's quite treacherous where I am. I'll get you back in the stand and yeah, we'll get a few baits made up in a bit. Gosh, right guys, I do apologise. You probably get the reflection off my jacket in the camera. We've been fishing now for about 4 hours. We've been getting taken out by weed all night, but seems to have eased up now. Even in the daytime, I had to pull into like 2 weed beds that I just couldn't get out of, and I had to pull for a break, unfortunately. But tables have turned. We've managed to land this lovely pout. Not massive, but not the smallest pout I've ever had either. So hopefully that's going to change our Hey, flying fish, boys! Hopefully that changes our luck. We're gonna get this little chap back now, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a few fish in a bit. Bosh, right people, there you go. Second fish, conger. Gonna get this little chap back now. About £1, maybe £2. Not a massive fish, but at the end of the day, I've got to be happy with it. You know, I've had this one, I've had that pout. It's been really hard fishing today. It's probably been the hardest fishing I've had in a very long time. If any of you fish Chesil, you'll know after a storm you get the big weed beds that come through, and that's exactly what I turned up to. Well, at first it was fine. Obviously we had that run, snagged me up. It was probably one of these. And then obviously the big weed beds turned up with the tide, started taking the lines out. Some of them were that big, they took a few rigs. But yeah, there you go, bosh. Fish have turned up. So with any luck, we'll get a few more, and hopefully one of these, but a lot bigger. We haven't seen a ray yet. We haven't seen a dogfish or a bullace, but at the end of the day, there's fish here. It's a new mark, and yeah, well in. I'm super happy to have this, and hopefully we see a few more fish. Right, I'm going to get this back. I'm going to get a pop noodle and cook, because I don't know if it's going to start raining again. In that last clip, I don't know if you could tell, but the weatherman said it wasn't going to rain, and guess what? Absolutely tipped down. So obviously bought the waterproofs anyway, because he's always wrong. But yeah, bosh. There we go, another fish. He is bleeding a bit. That's just from his mouth, obviously where the hook came in. Took the hook out, and yeah, he'll go back lovely. Right, I'm going to get this one back now and get myself a tricky pop noodle in a bit. Bosh, right guys. Well, what can I say? Fished the tide all the way up and fished it all the way down. Well, most of the way up. 4 hours up, 3 hours down. Haven't had much luck. Obviously we have had a few fish. We haven't blanked, so I am happy with that. Not a lot of fish for the hours, but at the end of the day we got some fish. We could have blanked completely and that would have been a complete nightmare, but we didn't. We had that pout, we had a conger, we had that fish on earlier that we lost. Unfortunately, I haven't been doing a lot of filming. Just been trying to fish hard, really, just trying to figure the place out. I know to my left there's a really big reef. Found that out the hard way. And to the right's clear, straight out's clear. Obviously once you get past the reef. But yeah, those big beds of seaweed have gone. Not sure whether they're going to come back on the incoming tide. But yeah, I think I'm going to hold these little bits, these few clips, and come down again, do another session, but on a bigger tide, and see if that makes a difference. There's a helicopter going over me now. I don't know if, yeah, I think you're going to pick it up, but I can't see where it is. I can just hear it. But yeah, other than that, guys, a bit quiet. I'm going to stay for one more cast. Oh, here it comes. Putin's invading. Whee. Now, there's a couple of people up on the cliff earlier. Don't know what they're doing. They had these different colour lights. Just sat there, probably meditating or some weird stuff. I'm in the middle of nowhere, really. So it's quite strange when you bump into people and they're doing weird things. I suppose I'm out here doing my thing, you know. So it is what it is. But hopefully you can hear me over that. But yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to fish another cast and then make my way back. It's about 45 minute walk back, I reckon, maybe a little bit longer because it is uphill this time. But yeah, and then we'll get another session in. We'll get a few in and then I'll put them all into one video, and hopefully a few different tides, a few different conditions, and yeah, we'll see if we can get some good fish out. Right, anyway, let's get back to the fishing in a bit. Bosh, right guys, well, we're back out again. Same venue, but this time we're on the left side, not the right side of the cliff. Hopefully we'll see a few fish out. I mean, we might not. I have decided just to say where I am. A lot of people are like, oh, you don't say all your venues and stuff. I get that. But obviously no one showed me this place. I found it on my own. I've seen fair few anglers and that down here as well. So it's not like a big secret, but I'm down on Ramhead, parked in the car park. The other week I fished right hand side, now I'm on the left hand side facing towards Plymouth. Just got down here, put 2 baits out, obviously sand eel and squid on one, and squid and bluey. Yeah, squid and bluey on the other. I've bought some blueies today, found a pack in the bottom of the freezer, so absolutely buzzing. Oh, I keep looking at the rod tips because I'm just really hoping we get a fish today. Obviously we didn't see a ray out or a bullace or anything last time. Tides are a lot bigger today. It's about, I think it's 3 or 4 days later, so not quite sure. Been awake quite a lot, been doing a lot of hours fishing and things like that, getting up early for work, so yeah, head's all over the place at the minute, but fingers crossed. It's about an hour before high and then we're going to fish it all the way down. I got down here a little bit later today, so we will be fishing into darkness. And yeah, other than that, guys, obviously all my baits are from Wrigglers. You know what to do by now. If you haven't been here before, Wrigglers baits, you get 15% off with Onlyfins 15. There's no minimum spend, so head over now, get yourself some bait, get yourselves out on the bank. Bosh. Right, but other than that, obviously I've got a pulley panel on one and I've got a running up and over on the other. I'm going to fish like that from now on, everywhere I go. And then if one rig starts out fishing the other, I'll just switch both over. Yeah, and I feel like that's the way forwards. I'll do the same with bait. I'll put certain bait on one rod, certain bait on the other. And that way I feel like you've got more of a chance of, you know, finding what the fish are feeding on. But yeah, not a touch yet. Rods have been out about half an hour, so hopefully we'll see a fish out. This is going to be an extension to the other video because it's the same venue, so why not? Do you know what I mean? If you haven't already, you know what to do. Bosh down below, smash up all the buttons, show some love because that's what this channel is all about. And yeah, hopefully we'll get you a few fish for the camera. Right, anyway, more importantly, I'll get some fish to weigh in. Obviously, you know, we're coming to the end of the year now. Most fishing clubs start from the 1st of December. So yeah, we've got about a month left. Beginning of November today, so yeah, let's see if we can't get us a few fish in a bit. Right, guys, well, not a bite yet. On the plus notes, obviously we have found a nice sand patch out at about 100 yards. There's about 5 to 7 second drop till it hits the bottom, so there's plenty of water there. It's very deep. Oh, obviously rock fishing is not very comfortable, so I'm gonna have to keep going up and down and all that. Oh, we've got the light. Should we change that light situation so it's in my eyes so I can actually see what I'm doing? Bosh, there we go, we can see me now. But yeah, unfortunately I just put my arm in the bait. But yeah, so we managed to find a sand patch, which is a bonus. No bites as of yet. So what have we learnt so far? I mean, kind of can't catch fish. No, I'm joking. Obviously, after a southwesterly wind, like a big blow, we can't fish here really because it gets too weedy. Obviously, I mean, we did manage a few fish out, but you know, it was very hard work. Today's been easy fishing really. Haven't lost any rigs, got no snags, nothing like that. Unfortunately, the fish haven't turned up yet. Still got a couple of hours, but obviously we can't stay too late. Got work tomorrow, and yeah, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive all the way back to England where I live. Now back to Bobby Tracy, but yeah, hopefully we'll see a fish out. If not, I mean, I think the only other thing we can do is come back down, but maybe after an easterly blow or something like that, something to get that sand all churned up and put a bit of colour in the water, because obviously it's very flat today. There's no wind whatsoever. It's actually been quite nice just sat here chilling. Obviously it would have been better if we had a fish, but you know, you never know. Today might be the first blank that we've had in a while, so we can't complain. You know, lately we have been getting at least a fish out, but yeah, sometimes it goes like that. You know, I might have a run now of a few. It normally happens, you get one blank and then you have 3 or 4 sessions and you don't get anything, and then you find the fish again. But yeah, we'll definitely be coming back. It's a very nice place to fish. I mean, might be better to fish here earlier in the year, like maybe mid-summer, I'm not too sure. Obviously, it's a new, well, you guys know it's a new place, but yeah, we're gonna put the hours in. I maybe come down here like once a month or something like that, once every 2 months, and just keep a record of like the tides, weather conditions, time of year, that kind of thing. So then when the fish do start turning up, then I know next year that's when to hit it. Or well, if we find them next year, the year after, that sort of month or the month after, to like try and get into some good fish. Obviously, oh, is that a bite? Might have just had a little knock then. I've just gone into darkness, so yeah. You never know. You never know. It could still happen. We've got a couple of hours. I'm going to keep fishing hard and hopefully get us a fish out. Gosh, right then, people. Right. Still no bites, but did just witness something really cool. I don't know if you know, or you might have seen it before. You might haven't. You might have not. I just seen a load of. Every now and again, they send satellites up into space, and they go up in a big string. It looks like a train going through the sky. The first time I seen it, I was with Chris Donald, and it was about 4 in the morning. He was asleep on the bench. We were fishing off Shoulden, and yeah, I thought it was like some missiles or I don't know, like some sort of aliens or something. Anyway, I got really excited about it, freaked out a little bit, and then I researched it, and I think it's something to do with Starlink, and it's the way they send the satellites up. So they're like all in a row, and as they go round in the sky, at a certain point one will break off, and then it'll keep going, and then that's how they send them up. Pretty sure that's what it is. Don't hold me to it. That's what it said online. But yeah, I just witnessed it again. Tried to video it on my phone, but unfortunately my phone's not that great. I've only got the iPhone 11, so yeah, couldn't pick it up on the camera. Don't think it's clear enough, but yeah, that was quite cool. So I've seen that, very amused for about 10 minutes. I've just been sat here thinking to myself, what can I do to change that I haven't done yet. So I've been putting cocktail baits out quite a lot lately down here. So I've gone back to the old school, single sand eel, single squid, belted them both out. Hopefully that makes us a difference. Got about an hour and a half now. Got about 3 or 4 more casts left. Hopefully we'll see a fish, but if we don't, we've seen some satellites. Well, you didn't, I did. But yeah, if you type it in on Google, you can watch it, and it looks like a massive train going through the sky. It's quite a weird thing to see if you've never seen it before. Probably sounds quite boring to some of you, but yeah, pretty trippy. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it, and hopefully we'll see us a fish in a bit. Boss, right then, people. Well, what can I say? It's been a minute since we've had a blank. But, you know, they happen to everyone. Yeah, bit gutted, I'm not going to lie. I've been doing really well lately, getting at least a fish out. So, obviously, we've got the last cast out now. Just a quick check of the rods. Yeah, last cast out now. I've literally just done it if it's kind of session. I mean, if it's there, it's going on the hook. So, I had 4 squid, so there's 2 squid and 3 sand eels on each rod, and yeah, sort of go big or go home. I mean, I will be going home after this cast. I have pushed it a little bit. There's not a lot of water there now. It's going to be hard to land a fish because it's quite a big drop off the end, but hopefully, you know, we might pick up a last cast fish. I've done it before. I've done it a few times on the channel, but yeah, it's been a bit quiet. I mean, it's been quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's always nice to get out. Like, I like getting out. You know, this is where I like to be. It's my favourite place. So, on that note, thank you all for dropping in, saying hello, seeing how I'm doing, and yeah, I'll drop the fish. If I get a fish, I'll drop it at the end. Probably not gonna happen. It is what it is. But yeah, as always, if I don't see you before, I'll see you after, and if not, I'll see you on the bank in a bit.